and get ready. All I can say is, do you believe in miracles today? This service this morning, I want to start off with the title page, New Beginnings. We've got a new year coming up. Many people make a new start in their life or want to make new resolutions. But I'm just talking about new beginnings that the Lord gives us in our life and trying to turn people's lives around for Him. New beginnings, Luke 38. Now the man out of whom the devils were departed besought Him that He might be with him. But Jesus sent him away, saying, Return to thine own house, and show how great things God hath done to thee. And he went his way and published throughout the whole city how great things Jesus had done unto him. And it came to pass that when Jesus was returned, the people gladly received him, for they were all waiting for him. Now this story is picking up today where the man who had the devils in him had them cast out. This man had so many devils in him that when Jesus cast them out, they said, let us go over into that herd of pigs. I don't know how many devils were in him, but there was 2,000 pigs, and all of them ran violently down a steep place and was choked in the sea. Well, the people that cared for the pigs run to the city and got those folks coming out to see what had went on. And when they found the man that was delivered out of the devils, they found him clothed, sitting at the feet of Jesus and in his right mind. There's a lot of things goes on when your life gets straightened out by the Lord. But one of the greatest things is you get in the right mind. And that's all key to how you live from there on out. Well, this man didn't want to go home to where all his family was. He wanted to be right at the feet of Jesus and go everywhere he went. But he said, no, you go back home to your friends and family and you tell them what great things he has done. So when I return, I'll have a ministry. And when he did, they came, they were waiting on him when he got off that boat. And everyone that touched the hem of his garment was healed. Miraculous. Let's read this next section that talks about the miracles. John 4:45. Then when he was come into Galilee, the Galileans received him, having seen all the things that he did at Jerusalem at the feast. For they also went unto the feast. So Jesus came into Cana of Galilee, where he made the water wine. And there was a certain nobleman whose son was sick at Capernaum. When he heard Jesus was come out of Judea into Galilee, he went unto him and besought him that he would come down and heal his son, for he was at the point of death. Then said Jesus unto him, Except you see signs and wonders, you will not believe. The nobleman saith unto him, Sir, come down, ere my child die. Jesus saith unto him, Go thy way, thy son liveth. And the man believed the word that Jesus had spoken unto him, and he went his way. And as he was now going down, his servants met him and told him, saying, Thy son liveth. Then inquired he of them the hour when he began to mend. They said unto him, Yesterday at the 7th hour the fever left him. So the father knew it was the same hour in which Jesus had said unto him, Thy son liveth, and he himself believed, and his whole house. This again is the second miracle that Jesus did when he was come out of Judea into Galilee. You gotta believe in the miraculous. Now, what did Jesus do for this man? Well, you'd say quick, he healed his son. No, he did heal his son, but he changed that man from unbelief to faith in him. He became a believer. And not only look at that, but look down where it says that he inquired of them, and they said unto him, yesterday the 7th hour the fever left him. So the father knew at the same hour in which Jesus saith unto him, thy son liveth, and himself believed, and his whole house. You see what an effect that miracle had? It wasn't just the fact that the miracle happened, but new birth came to his whole house, and the whole house believed. What's so important today? Is it the miracles? No, it's the belief. It's the faith in God, the complete trust in His Word, the foundation that Jesus was laying, and He said, the man who believes what I say is like a man that builds his house on the rock. When the storms blow, the house stands. But the man that don't believe builds on the sand. And when the storms come, because the storms are coming. Think about the storms are coming. But the man that built on the sand, his house fell down, and great was the fall of it. You're going to have disasters in your life. You're going to have interruptions. But what you do about it is what's important. How's your faith in God after the disaster comes? Where do you stand? Do you stand and trust in God? Or is your faith in that house you had once, but now it's gone? That hurricane come through and blew through Panama City, and I'm telling you, them people suffered. But where did your faith stand? You might have lost your house, but if you didn't lose your life, you got a lot to work with, because Jesus can work with a heart that believes, that trusts God. He can overcome disasters. I've heard people in those fires out in California say they lost everything. No, if you have Jesus, you've not lost everything, because He is your everything. There's a song that says, and now I have everything. We've got to believe in the miraculous. What I see in this miracle that Jesus performed, it was the second one in this land. The first was turning the water into wine, and that cheered everybody up. But this one was the one that saved them. This one was the one that turned their life around, and they believed. His whole house believed God. Many miracles would take place in Jesus' ministry. Some of them took place on the Sabbath, in the midst of people that knew the law of Moses. We're supposed to love God with all their heart and love their neighbor as themselves. That was the first two principles, the first two laws in the commandments of God to Moses. And people, when Jesus came, they started criticizing. Here's a woman bent with an infirmity for 18 years. They're watching Jesus. What you going to do now? Well, He healed her. Then He turned around and called them hypocrites. Said, isn't this woman better off being healed of this infirmity for 18 years than that ox or that donkey you take to water on the Sabbath? Why are you criticizing me when I'm healing people? Why do people criticize Jesus today when all He does is try to turn your life around? He'll even give you the miracles if you'll look for Him and trust Him. He'll bring you through. I can look back over my life the last 19 years plus, and I know of 5 times that I was told I was at the point of death, but God brought me through. And I'm living today with no major complications other than paralysis. Still have the paralysis, but I'm very lively. My spirit is more lively than that. If I had the grip of my hands, I'd probably want to do more than I need to do instead of doing the will of God. And I wouldn't want that to happen, but I still want to use my hands. I just got to let God work things out. How about you? Let Him work the miracles in your life. Take what He gives you, trust Him with it, and go on for Him. Isn't that a good idea? Just go on for the Lord. Well, it's time for me to do another segment. Never mind the beeps for a minute. Let me turn this video off. Do these segments so they're not so long. People won't